Hello and welcome to Salford Now. I'm Niamh McDermott.
And I'm Emma White. Here's what's coming up on today's programme.
A 5-year-old is in its first gear towards competing in Formula 1.
An elderly man is cleaning the quays on his morning walks.
Langworthy Rugby Club are asking the public for help after a spate of vandalism.
And have you ever wanted to learn how to make a fancy cocktail? Stay tuned to find out how.
University lecturers across the country are striking again over pay gaps, casual contracts and unsafe working conditions. Our reporters wanted to talk to the strikers at the University of Salford, but they would only speak to someone who hasn't previously crossed the picket line.
With the strikers, and they're striking on a number of fronts. One's against inequality within higher education and further education. The second are the low levels of pay and the lack of pay rises that the workforce has seen over a long period of time now, at a time when they should be receiving at least a decent wage. The third thing, and probably one of the most important thing, is the casualisation of the workforce within the university system. We're turning into a system that's akin to Sports Direct, where people are on temporary contracts, where they're not given security at work, they can't plan their future and their lives. And these are supposed to be the people that are creating the brightest and the best in our country to help shape our economy, come up with the new discoveries and innovations. And, you know, how can we expect that from them if we're not respecting them and giving them the security that they deserve?
I'm glad the union could tell us more. Now, Langworthy Rugby Club has been vandalised with extensive damage to the changing rooms and bar. The club are pleading for public help. Our reporter Mia Fitton went to see the destruction.
The evidence of vandalism, a rugby club completely in ruins. This is the remains of what was once a home for the rugby club, Langworthy Reds.
They've pulled down the fence in the corner over there, and that's where they're getting in whenever they do it. But they broke into the outbuildings. They just make camping there basically. They just trashed everything in the outbuildings, broke down the doors that they can, smashed windows. They started burning rubbish over the last few weeks as well.
The vandalism first started over lockdown. The club weren't meeting for practice, which made it easier for people to get in unnoticed.
Well, I think our image with the local neighbours is quite bad because the mess, it makes it look like we don't. Damage been done, so it makes the club look like it's just neglected. We contacted the police initially, and we sort of get the same answer off them every time, that whenever they come up, there's nobody here. The council, we're still in discussions with them about we're going to try and get new fencing to help it make it more secure. I think that'll be a big thing. Once we've got new fencing up, it's going to make it difficult. At the moment, it is too easy for them to get in, no matter what we try to do.
I spoke to Councillor Madeline Wade to see what Salford City Council are doing to decrease these crimes.
Well, I mean, things should always be reported to the police, and the police, once they know, do usually go out and attend. If it's youngsters, what we usually do is we ask our youth services to go and have a look at the area and talk to youths and try and get them involved in something more positive.
A GoFundMe page has been set up by the team in hopes the community will come together to try and help them out of this dark time. Mia Fitton, Salford Now.
Well, hopefully they can get the funding that they need. Now, following Rishi Sunak's spring statement yesterday, our reporter Lois James went to see how the local businesses are feeling about the rise of inflation.
The Chancellor may have addressed the fuel crisis in his spring statement, but what about the ever-increasing and all-time high inflation rate? The retail price annual inflation stands at 1.8%, the highest it's been since November 2011. I'm here with the owner of Chapati Cafe to ask how his business has been affected. So, have you noticed a difference in your wholesale prices?
Yeah, wholesale prices are on the rise. Rice, tomatoes, things like that. Fresh produce from the EU is shooting up in price. So everything's sort of going up the wrong way.
And have you increased your prices as a result of this?
We haven't yet, no. We moved here last March, so prices are the same as they were. Hopefully prices will come down, costs will come down. We won't have to increase, but there might come a point where we need to think about it.
Are you feeling things tightening within the business?
A little bit, yeah. Obviously energy prices are going up. It just seems that everything's going up cost-wise, so things are getting tight, yeah.
And what would you have liked to have seen in the spring statement?
It would have been nice if the VAT rate had stuck at 12.5%. It's going to go up to 20% in April, and I think a lot of businesses will struggle with that. Business rates relief was 100% during the pandemic. That's going to go to 50% as of April as well. So that's a huge cost for some places, including ourselves. So that's going to be a struggle. So it would have been nice if that had stayed at 100% relief.
And are you happy with anything within the statement?
The national insurance contribution changes will help. There's the employer allowance, which helps us pay our bill. And obviously the cap going higher by 3,000 for individuals will help as well, for them and for the business slightly, but it's not really enough, to be honest, but it's a little help.
Thank you for that, Lois. Looks like we better get saving. Now, the new F1 season may be just underway, but one youngster in Salford is already on track for motorsport glory. 5-year-old Max Joy has got his plans in gear to compete after watching his idol Max Verstappen in Bahrain last weekend.
Salford's next racing superstar, 5-year-old Max Joy, has been quickly driving up the ranks. Accompanied by dad Tom, Max has been racing in the UK Bambino Championship against drivers as old as 8. Thanks to his dad, Max has become an F1 expert.
So we watched F1 at home. We watched the last season's F1 races on TV, and he got really interested in it, started to shout at the TV and cheer drivers on. And he wanted to know how they drive so fast, and said many of them kind of start at 4. Lewis Hamilton was driving and racing at 4. So he said, well, I'm 4, so I can try that too.
It's a long way from the youth go-kart leagues to Formula 1, and a driver needs 2 things to do it: talent and funding. Max's father told me that a single go-kart cost over £1,300, and the tyres with it cost over £250, and the engine on its own cost over £1,000. And altogether, the go-kart and the gear that Max wears cost over £3,000 to drive. On top of the go-karting expenses, Max and Tom have to travel at least an hour away to the nearest racetrack, the Houghton Park circuit. This is because there are no usable go-karting tracks in Salford. They occasionally have to travel over 3 hours away to race in Cumbria's racetrack, the Rovar circuit. But this hasn't stopped Max from being successful. What trophies have you won?
Can you remember? Remember that big trophy we got last year in the Electric Championship? Where did you come? 7th. I'm really proud of him. I mean, just to see how fast he is on the weekend, and it's easy to forget that he's 5 at times, with the speeds that he's going at. So yeah, constantly proud of him and how determined he is as well. He doesn't like people going past him, and he wants to beat people. So that's also something that I quite like about him. Yeah.
He's only 5, so Max doesn't care where the race is.
When is your next race?
I don't know.
Do you know where you're going to race?
No.
But you can't knock his confidence.
Do you think you're going to win?
Vroom. Well, that looks really fun. Ha ha ha. Now, an elderly man is helping with the utter rubbish in Salford. Our reporter Heba joined him on his morning stroll.
Walk, part of a cleaning Salford. Alex is retired. He's in his 70s and he's been cleaning Salford for over 2 years now. Every other day, Alex goes to his morning walk, taking his plastic bag and the litter picker.
When I first did it, I mean, it was very untidy and it was like that most weeks. And I've noticed over a period of time that it's not as bad, it's much better. I'm collecting less. And I think when people are seeing people such as me, speaking, again, I think we're setting some kind of example, and it's encouraging others not to leave litter, or perhaps one or two hopefully picking a little bit of litter up that's around their house, etc.
Even with Alex's health issues, he didn't stop collecting the litter.
2 young lads in the area who I don't know, but they've seen me. One of them came more of a chat, but they just come and drop something in rather than just leaving it on the floor. I assumed they were taking it home. So,
Salford Litter Heroes, a Facebook group started with some residents. They aiming to make Salford cleaner by considering their morning walks part of cleaning the streets. No matter how old are you in full-time job or part-time job, or even retired, it's easy to think that someone else will clean up the rubbish with council stretched. We need more solidarity to make Salford cleaner and more attractive place to work and live. Great British Spring Clean event held by Keep Britain Tidy. Over the years, they managed to take part in 17,000 cleanups, and they spent 1.1 million hours collecting around 900,000 bags of litter.
Sorry about that. Well, it is a gorgeous day for those who do fancy cleaning up. And once you've finished with the dump, why not dump yourself in front of the sun for National Cocktail Day?
I spent happy hour in the Alchemist at Salford Quays, learning how to make the cocktail, the colour changing one. Here's how it went. Hello, so I'm here at the Alchemist at Salford Quays and I'm joined by Sammy Bent, who's going to show me how to make a couple of cocktails.
So we'll go easily enough for the colour change, without doubt the most popular cocktail that we on our menu.
Amazing, and what does that entail?
So essentially it is a mix of like Grey Goose vodka, a bit of apple liqueur,
yep,
a bit of lemonade and a little bit of citric acid essentially.
Perfect.
And the stuff that we call magic mix to make it change colours.
I'm going to get a couple of shots of this because I think it's amazing. Wow.
Do you want the fancy flair pour or the no fancy?
No, which one?
Do you want fancy flair pour or no fancy flair pour? Okay, so.
Whoa! I'm gonna have to get some close up. So how long have you been working here for, Sammy?
So I've been here for just gone over 4 years. Essentially, I'm the assistant head bartender.
Oh wow!
It's really fun. It's one of those places that's just nice, kind of loads of training, loads of like everyone likes what they do. It's supposed to be like hospitality industry is changing quite rapidly.
Yeah.
And it's nice to have like someone that wants to kind of do these jobs, which is nice.
So do you think you'd be able to make this cocktail at home?
You can do actually. There are essentially we do actually have a book that shows you how to do everything with this.
Yeah.
All the ingredients, how we do everything. I think
coming up to 8 years now.
What you're going to do without blue and ink first, then the clear one.
Amazing. Right, I'm going to get a couple of videos of this one. Are you ready? I've seen my friends do this before, but I've never done it myself. The blue one first. Are you ready? Wow, that is so
nice
good.
And simple.
I can understand why it's your most popular one.
You've not tasted it yet. That's the thing.
Oh,
that was the fun bit.
Go on, are you ready? Are you ready? I'm gonna try it. Taste test. Is it? Can I drink it like that?
Yeah, just use the straws. Well, basically, the dry ice is just making it fizzy.
You ready? Ooh. Oh, I like that one. I like that one.
It's nice and sweet.
That's
nice and
really,
sour.
really
Nice
nice.
bit of
We'll save that
sweetness
one
for
for later. Thank you so much.
I'm
Yeah, happy National Cocktail Day, guys.
Oh, it was right, Emma. That's really good.
Thank you.
Fancy another later?
Yeah, of course. Well, remember to drink responsibly and check out our Twitter at Salford Now for the alcohol-free version.
That's all from us today. Enjoy the sun. I'm Niamh McDermott.
And I'm Emma White. Salford Now will be back next week. Goodbye.